What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got two different knives we're going to be checking out, and these are pretty epic. I can't wait to share these with you guys. Welcome back. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we have quite the unboxing. Links for these will be in the description, but we are going to cut to the chase, starting with this sort of like fusion bomb looking box. Will you believe this is the casing for a knife? It is full aluminum, right? Really cold to the touch. Very interesting machining here. We are going to be checking out a ForeverSteel knife, and this one is the Athron, right? Very interesting name. M390 steel with TC4 handle, made by ForeverSteel in 2023. Then we got some writing there in Japanese, which means subscribe to Miguel EDC. There you go. So that being said, let's go ahead and unscrew the cap. All right, this is pretty epic, you guys. If all the knives came on this unboxing experience, I don't know what I would do, but this is definitely a keeper as far as the unboxing casing goes. And guess what? It actually unscrews from both sides, so I was just curious there. But we only need the one side, and then let's just go ahead and check out the knife in here, shall we? Check it out on the inside. That was a whole party trick of its own, but the knife now, this is something else. So it is encased on the sort of like foam that goes around it. And I don't want to break it because this is a loaner, so this one's gonna have to go back to Aurora blades, by the way. So I do have it available. Again, I do have a link below if you guys want to check it out. Is there a way to is there a way to get this thing off without breaking the foam? Aurora, my apologies. I am trying my best here to really do as little damage as possible, but as you can see, the knife is protruding through the foam, so let's just call it what it is here. So bam, take that off, and hopefully I can take the remaining portion off here. Anyways, now that we got that out of there, so you're supposed to come out the other side. Here we go, right? What are we looking at? And maybe I put an R where I shouldn't, but the Athron, not the Athron, but Athron is the name on this one. Again, A-T-H-R-O-N. And I kind of picture this one being a tad bit bigger, right? I don't know why. It's kind of giving me sort of medium knife vibes. But I've seen this one feature a few times before in other channels, and it sort of gave me bigger knife vibes. But what really stands out, and I really can't believe this is a knife really, is so much line and design language going all throughout. I mean, for starters, it's going to be on, obviously, titanium. Let's get the magnet of truth out here to see. Yes, that is indeed the case. I'm loving the whole anodized blue pops of colors throughout. That also looks nice. And then we have, you know, holes that are see-through, right? Like this lanyard hole back here, but then we have two other holes that are part of triangles, I guess, and more lines and more design language. And the blade, I mean, are we calling this a harpoon? The blade is pretty epic. We're going to get to that in a moment. The pivot looks really sweet. Check that out. It's going to be a T8, but it's got this very futuristic looking, almost Mercedes sign looking thing. So that's nice. Same thing on the other side. It is going to be a frame lock. And we have a pocket clip here with a little bit of a paw sign. That's interesting. Again, ForeverSteel, they actually know how to make epic knives, without a doubt. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get this thing deployed here. I'm going thumb stud. Hold on. What's the password? Okay, so that was thumb stud. I'm trying to open it. Let's go front flipper again. Ooh, that pinched the crap out of me. So I'm not gonna lie, the whole thumb deployment here, the thumb stud looks very artistic, but it's not necessarily the most comfortable of thumb studs. And also there's so much resistance from the detent that pretty hard, all right, to actually deploy, maybe if it breaks over time. But check out the detent here, right? Pretty intense. I would think the same for a reverse flick. There we go. So I kind of was able to, there we go, do a reverse flick off of the meat of the middle finger, trying the front flipper. There we go. That is where it's at with this guy. A little bit of jimping, not crazy jimping, but as long as you position your thumb right, bam, front flipper is where it's at with this knife. Pretty drop shotty too. But let's take a look at this blade. What is going on here? I mean, for starters, right, because I know some people are going to be typing this in the comments. You know, how are you going to use this knife in a real scenario? Blah, blah, blah. Why do you need this and that? Like, you know, let me just address the elephant in the room, right? This is not going to take a stab at beating or becoming the next utilitarian knife or anything like that, right? This is designed this way for a reason, or it's more of an artistic piece, as are most ForeverSteel knives to begin with. So it's more of a collector's item than anything. So if the design really speaks to you, and again, you know, you have the means, then obviously you could add this to your collection, but it's not meant to be a massively adopted knife that obviously is going to speak to everybody under the sun. But you know who you are, right? If you have the means and the design speaks to you, and you have a knife collection you are building, then you know something like this may make a lot of sense to add to. Just the unique and wild factor here is through the roof. So to break it down a little bit, right? We got a hollow ground on this portion here. That's a pretty aggressive hollow ground because the blade does get pretty thick. So it's going to be interesting to see how this guy would slice. Because again, it's not like there's so much of blade, but the edge and everything is happening down here, getting pretty thick. And then we have a flat grind towards the front. So a little bit of a compound ground here, hollow and flat towards the front. That's looking interesting. And we have this little harpoon looking section with a very pointy, right, harpoon there. We got a fuller and then a hole. All right, we've got so much going on there in the front. This other fuller here, wait a second. This is the fuller. That is the opening hole, or that is a hole. I'm not sure if I can open using the hole. Wait a second. Look at that. This whole time I'm fighting with the thumb studs, whereas reverse flick here is a piece of cake. Check that out. Can I thumb deploy? I can. Crazy enough, I can deploy that way. I can deploy off of the fuller, but if I put my thumb here on the hole, again, it's not ideal. It's very slippery, but it could happen. But definitely Spidey flick right here. Bam. That is absolutely where it's at. But the rest of the handle, you'll be surprised. It's actually very pretty ergonomically friendly, right? I'm going to give it a good 8.5 out of 10. As crazy and wild as it looks, it actually works pretty well on the hand. This is your standard grip. I can forward choke on it a tad bit here. Very minimal finger choil, if anything. So check that out. It says ForeverSteel, and then we said that the steel on this one is M390, and then it says Athron or Athron FS09B. Well, the other thing that really calls my attention is the backspacer here. This is a pretty epic backspacer. Check this out. It goes all the way, almost the total length of the handle, like to the very front. It's got some shine to it, like a polish to it. Kind of looks like the back spine of some alien creature, if you would. So that's looking pretty epic. And it's got the designer, right, little X mark here with the circles in the back. Now, it being a frame lock and all, right, we don't have a ton of access to the lock bar from the show side, but it's nice and spaced out, right? Pretty easy to push down into the left and disengage that way. Oh man, check out the drop shot action. Like I said earlier, that is money right there. Money! Oh, that's so good. I mean, these are, you know, pretty well machined, right? Really nice quality. I mean, it'd be an almost technically a production piece that could very well pass as a custom knife. So don't see these sort of wild designs all that much in the production world, but would you believe this is a production knife that you can actually purchase? That is insane. We do have a steel insert for steel on steel contact. It's nice and interesting how you see the side of the nut that is holding that insert in. It's actually blue anodized, and we can see it from the other side as well. So all of this hardware is titanium, right? Same deal with the back spacer here. Pocket clip as well. Not reversible of a pocket clip, but you know, you get the idea at this price point. Having a filler tab there would have probably not looked so good with the design, so they made an executive decision. I'm sure they maybe have a lefty version out there, but we do have some writing in here. I'm gonna get my woven X0 here, right, to shine some light in there to see what we're looking at. It looks like a Decklinks design, right? That's what we're looking at. Decklinks design. And even the pocket clip, I saw some writing on the pocket clip as well. We'll check out in a second. There's a tiny ForeverSteel little Easter egg in the inside of the backspacer. Tiny little bit of detail, 3 holes, right, on the backspacer right here towards the front. They didn't need to do that, but again, just adding more and more detail throughout. And the pocket clip just has the website right down here embossed in as well. So I mean, to say that this knife is wild and epic will be a massive understatement. But I mean, I got one more thing. I got one more knife I want to check out with you guys, and that is right here, another ForeverSteel knife. We're gonna go ahead and check out together. And this one comes in a plastic little casing here, leather pouch. This is an interesting call here. Pretty hardcore. Passes the sniff test. Smells good, leathery. And here is the knife, and oh man, this is Absolutely something, ladies and gentlemen. Let's zoom in here, 5x. Another ForeverSteel, again, Decklinks design. That's what we were looking at on the other one. So Decklinks design on both of these. We got a spade, a little embossed icon there on both sides. Kind of some dots there. What looks to be like a spine lock. Okay, is that what it's going to be? A spine lock. That's going to be interesting. Of course, what really stands out here is the handles, right? Check out the handles here. I probably should put my white gloves, right? Put my Metal Complex white gloves on and handle this one like the true epic piece that it is. According to what I'm reading on this knife, it's mostly handcrafted, right? There are some CNC pieces that are not able to be made, so mostly handcrafted knife here. We have Damascus, beautiful Damascus on the handle, and we have some brass accents. Looks like on thumb stud, pivot right back here with this bit of a backspacer, also with the lanyard solution. It's interesting how they did that. Then we have a Swedish Damasteel / M390 on the blade, which looks pretty epic. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this thing a full open here and see how it goes. And kind of going back to my joke about the white gloves, I don't have any handy, but maybe one day I will. Anyways, here we go. Oh man, that deployment was actually pretty solid, right? It worked just as you would expect. And check it out, right? It is going to be a back lock, so push it down on here. It actually releases, right? The back lock as such. All right, let's actually get in there, zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it in action. So this is how the lock takes place. And then we push here, and then, right, it lifts the back lock, and we can fold the knife. So very mechanical, right, from that standpoint. So it's going to be a little bit of a shake shutter. Thumb deployment again. There we go. That feels good. Probably do, again, a shake shot, right? Can we reverse flick? Reverse flicking is a bit of a, yeah, it's a bit of a more challenging approach. So I would just do thumb stud deployment all day with this one. The other thing you notice, right? We'll get to the blade in a second. The other thing you notice is how slim and narrow the knife is. Again, same thing with this one, right? Just like I said with the other knife. This one is not trying to win the prize on the most utilitarian knife that everybody should own out there. This is a very intentional custom piece made for knife collectors and very serious knife enthusiasts. And it exactly knows who the market is. So, you know, again, look at this knife differently than all the other budget knives and very utilitarian knives that I showcase in this channel all the time, right? This is something unique, something a little bit more out there. A very interesting piece to check out indeed. But I'm noticing again how slim it is. So it actually kind of feels a bit weird that it's so slim, right? Obviously you have way more handle on this guy by comparison. But you know, again, this is intentional. It's part of the design. The other thing I find is that the little ring portion back here, right? Your lanyard solution is a little bit pokey. So depending on the circumstances, it's actually poking the palm there a tad bit. But again, right, this is not a knife you're going to carry every day. And it's supposed to be the most comfortable thing out there, right? Hand melting ergos or what have you. It's more of a collector's piece, right? More of a piece of art that still works, right? Because we still got a blade here. And so let's check out the Damasteel, right? Swedish Damasteel. All right, check it out. Beautiful pattern all throughout with some shine, some reflection to it without a doubt. And then we have a flat grind and a very interesting sort of switch there towards the front. Check that out. That is very interesting and different, very unusual, right? As the whole knife is pretty much. So checking out the rest of the knife here. It is going to be a tip down carry. So when you do carry this knife, which again, right, being a collector's piece and all, some people might have it as a safe queen. And if you have money like that and you want to carry it, more power to you. It is going to be a tip down carry, right? Non-reversible pocket clip, tip down carry, right? And then we have a matching Damascus pocket clip. I like the brass accents back here. Again, they just add to the aesthetics, right, in the design, but nothing crazy as far as functionality. It's just for looks. Again, mostly, right, you're working with a backlog. So haven't necessarily featured a whole lot of backlogs here on the channel. It's always nice to see a good implementation of a different lock, and that's exactly what you have here. So needless to say, that's going to be a very robust engagement there. Without a doubt, you basically have to remove this whole piece that's getting wedged in there in order to disengage the knife. So check that out. Alignment there, smack in the middle, as you would expect. And overall, just wild. Very sort of curvy as well. Curved handle, right? A little bit of curve on the blade also. Now I've got to do a rapid fire cutting test on this one because again, I'm mostly interested in seeing how this one works given that it gets pretty thick right away. So quick piece of paper here. We're going to do a nail test. Yeah, that feels nice. So, oh yeah, cutting to the paper there, no issues. Even going from the hollow to the flat grind, which is a little bit of a thicker area, the whole transition there, right, no issues. So something like paper, yeah, it's gonna cut that, no issues. And as far as cardboard goes, I got a single wall piece of cardboard cutting diagonally here for better performance. It's gonna look something like this. Listen, my concern was, hey, it's getting too thick. It might struggle. The answer is no. It actually cuts pretty good. If anything, I'll tell you where it actually may have a little bit of resistance or struggle, if anything, is going from the hollow to the thicker portion. Making the transition is not an issue when cutting paper, right? But it does show, or I can feel it a tad bit when cutting cardboard. But, right, in case you're wondering, does it cut material? The answer is yes. It's still a knife, even though it's, you know, high-end and, you know, collector's piece. It should still perform like a knife, and the answer is yes, it does. And let's go ahead and move on to the other guy here. This one, again, such an interesting, beautiful-looking piece. We got Damasteel / M390, at least that's what it says on the website, and the answer is yes. Cut into that paper there with no issues. Forgot to do the nail test. Oh, that is one bitey, toothy edge right there. And again, same deal, single wall piece of cardboard, cutting diagonally. Wow. Yeah, see, this is a slicer through and through. It doesn't get too thick. It is a tall, flat grind. And the answer is yes, it is going to annihilate that cardboard without any issues. Not that I think that people who are going to collect these knives are going to be doing much cutting with them. They're more collector piece, safe queens if you would. But in case you needed to cut, to answer the question is yes, they absolutely do cut, and they cut pretty well. Yeah, absolutely epic, absolutely unique and different in its own right. Definitely want you guys to share your thoughts in the comments, right? What do you like about these? What do you love about them? Is there anything you dislike? All feedback, comments are welcome down below. Let me get you a zoom in right there. Again, I'll have these linked down below if you guys want to check them out. Those about the channel want to use those links, but that's entirely up to you. And at zero extra cost, like I said earlier, these knives are not for everybody, right? They are a little bit on the pricier side. And there's plenty of other budget and even premium knives that are way more affordable than these that you can buy, right? I feature them here on the channel all the time. So got a whole backlog library worth of other knives that are more affordable, you know, better execution for everyday or utilitarian and such. But these are collector item pieces. These are very specific for folks, very serious enthusiasts who are looking to spice up their collection. That's exactly what these are. So with that in mind, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me until the end. Shout out to Aurora Blades for sending these in as loaners for me to check out and share with you guys. These will be going back to them in a few weeks. Shout out to my Patreon supporters and channel members for supporting what I do here. You guys were awesome. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.